Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard. This is Random Street Theater, and I have finally, yes, I am going so bold, aren't I? I have finally seen A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. Before I get into that, let me remind you all that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I purchase one of these babies from 4Ocean. And 4Ocean will pull a pound of trash out of the ocean or off of our coastlines every time I do that. So there's going to be more more trash in the ocean than fish. Let's change that together. So if you could comment, like, subscribe if you haven't, maybe share this with your friends. The world will thank you in the end. Anyway, so Nightmare on Elm Street is the story of a group of high schoolers who are being menaced by a evil something or other called Freddy Krueger with knives for fingers, who kills them in their sleep. Okay, Nightmare Demon. That's the classic story anyway. The updated version, well, has that he's a pedophile going after his old victims. So again, they've managed to make Freddy Krueger, a more despicable character because he was always kind of a pedophile. Okay. It was never really played up. It was never really a big thing, but we kept that, in the background. And old Krueger was this wisecracking, almost likable character. But in this, he is just completely dislikable, being absolute scum. And I mean, I'd want to go beat his. Like, if this was a real person, I'd want to go beat his ass. It's harder for me to remove him from my reality because of how they've played up his backstory. Also, the dream dimension that he lives in makes a lot less sense when you give his backstory now, but they didn't really give so much of his backstory originally. So Krueger was a much more mysterious figure in the original film. In this film, he is just a undersized pedophile who, came back to punish his victims for tattling. Also, the new look of Freddy. Let me see if I can give you a good image here. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if you folks can see that, but it is a much more realistic image of a burn victim. But the problem with this, of course, is that whereas the original Freddy was based on a pizza, believe it or not, and looked delicious, this Freddy is based on an actual burn victim who died. So, or I guess survived and is healed? I don't know. Here's the thing. Freddy Krueger died in the fire. He shouldn't look like a burn victim. He should look different because we don't know what he would look like. The surrealism is what carried this story. The surrealism is what made this story something you could distance yourself from and be like, look, okay, this is a monster, but he's the... I mean, it's like you saw in Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Robert Englund comes out as Freddy and he's giving kids high fives, and he's a fun character. In this one, he's considerably more evil and disgusting. So it's like, on the one hand, the ew factor is a lot higher. But on the other hand, he's not killing with the same level of style from the first film. This remake makes him at one point less likable, and at the other, less distinct and interesting. I mean, Freddy Krueger is not known for the number of kills; it's how he kills and the style with which he does. The what is it? The having, the habeas corpus, the collecting of the bodies and running around with them in his dreams. That's what really terrified us. But I mean, the fact that in the original film, the people he were going after had nothing to do with, they were the children of, not the actual victims. And then you have to suspend disbelief to be like, oh, yes, you would have just forgotten that. No, somehow I doubt it. I mean, this is a competently made film. And I think that if it weren't a Nightmare on Elm Street film, it probably would have done better. Problem is that it is a Nightmare on Elm Street film. It takes a classic and iconic character and gives it a spin that we didn't want. So yeah, if you're not familiar with the series, you're probably going to enjoy this a lot more. But then go watch the original, because it's a lot better. In fact, I noticed that the original is in theaters because there's nothing else to put in theaters. So yeah, go watch that. Better film. I would put this on the watch only if you're bored list. But that's just my opinion. Love to hear yours. Comments below. I'm Richard.
Greetings, Americans. I am Borgoff. Just Borgoff. Regular blue Borgoff. Not stealth Borgoff. Not can't see the blood of my enemies Borgoff. Just Borgoff. Reminding you to like and subscribe to this video, or I shall use ancient Russian chokehold on you. We'll make your toes pop. Then I will eat them, because in Russia there's not much food. Comment and like this video. And you can see more of me on Absurd TV!